I am single.
Oh God!
Is that an answer? Oh, I'm a single ladies. Oh, I'm a single
Chris,
lady.
can your podcast show bring him
girls.
at least a girlfriend?
Adi is single.
for
Check out
Christmas,
the biceps, man. Look at the biceps.
That's why I'm singing and singing like that. So it's like
and
bringing
he's
the
got
guns
salt
out.
and pepper on his head too, man. I mean, how sexier can a man get, right? Salt and pepper on the head. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chris Hansen Conversation. Guess what? It's Christmas time and it is the time to be jolly, the time to get your eggnogs ready, and it is also my Christmas special, and I have two very special people in the studio, which we are also paying tribute to as our tribute to SG's music icons. And the reason why I got these two here with me is because A, bloody harmony is freaking amazing. B, they're so super damn busy, I tell you, just about everywhere and anywhere you look around, these people are actually performing some fucking place somewhere in Singapore. I can tell you that much, man. They are so busy because everybody just wants them. And you know what? I have got to get them here because A, I'm curious. I want to find out more. B, also because these people are real talents, man. And they're young, younger than me anyway. And there's a bright future in Singapore for music. And I like to go on preaching about that. This nation needs to keep its soul alive. And our music, therefore, must always continue to thrive. So I have with me, on my left, Adi.
Hi.
And on my right, Shili.
Hello.
And these guys are called Shili and Adi. I mean, what else, right? Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you for inviting us to the show.
No, thanks really, man. I mean, I know you guys are really, really busy, and to just take the time off just to be here with me on the show is really pretty freaking amazing. I get that problem all the time, especially from musos who are so sought after. Oh gosh, you cannot imagine. Right, Kai? I tell you, man, just to fix schedules down, to knock people down, to come on to the show, okay? Give me a damn date. But really, thanks so much for being here, man. Really. Okay, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go ladies first.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to be asking questions. Not all of it will be for each individual. Some of it will be for both of you, collectively.
Okay.
So you got to go through me to get through her. And she's got to go through me to get to you, right? Okay.
Whoa.
So, bloody big brick wall. Very simple question, which I ask of practically all my guests. Shirley, starting with you. Can you tell everyone here who Shili is all about? Who and what Shili is all about?
Sure. So basically, Shili is the half of Shili and Adi.
Well, yeah, that one we know lah.
So between the two of us, so I would be doing half the singing together with Adi. So that's our concept. And we always combine like our strengths together to overcome our weaknesses. Wow, you really caught me by that.
Yeah, everybody does actually.
Yeah.
When I ask that question.
Yeah, and I also help to take care of the business aspect of like the two of us.
Okay.
So in terms of like liaising with the clients and also
The commercial aspect.
Yeah, the commercial aspect.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah.
You didn't answer my question actually.
So what makes Shili?
Yes.
SHILI, 5 letters.
I know.
Yeah.
But what are you all about?
What am I all about?
Yeah, you, the person.
The driving force, I guess, of Shili and Adi.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think. Right,
Okay.
Adi?
No, I'm talking about you, the person.
By me, as a
You.
person?
Yeah. What are you all about?
What am I all about?
Yeah. Passions.
Passions.
Let's start with that.
I like creating happy moments for people.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's why when we decided to take Shili and Adi, like leaving our day jobs to pursue this like full time, I actually had on my side my own events company as well.
Okay.
Called Mary B's, like an agency.
Ah, that's your YouTube channel too, right? Isn't it?
Not really. I think that's like the management agency aspect of like us.
I see.
So it helps to schedule us, plan our
Because you guys pop up
rosters.
all the time on my YouTube feeds, man.
Okay, that's great to know. I'll let my team know that. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys pop up. I mean, they're doing a great job because you pop up so often. So that's why I had to ask you that. Okay, so that's you. How about you, Adi?
Wait, firstly, I have to say, right, that
Yeah.
has got to be the best introduction we've ever had of us. I think we have to record that and then bring you with us everywhere we go, right?
Yeah.
Whenever they have to introduce us on stage, can we just press play to Chris Hansen's recording of our introduction?
His voice.
That one is called a voiceover charge along with loading, licensing to the voice.
Yeah, please invoice my business manager over there. Yeah.
We'll negotiate.
She has revealed herself to be the commercial person.
Well, I'm glad you like the intro, though. I'm glad you like the intro. But what about you, man? I mean, Adi, what are you all about? Who are you?
Adi, Adi is a me. So
I know it's you, yeah.
I am, I think in the group, I am the music, I am the soul, the soul has to be the both of us, but I mean,
the brains.
Yeah, the brains.
Wait. I'm getting confused now. You're saying you're the brains, but you're the one that's saying that you drive the business.
I drive, but he's the brains.
Okay, so you're the brains behind.
So he's the talent.
So the production. You mean the production? Whatever you guys produce on stage, you're the brains.
So I think that's why you cannot talk about Shili and Adi individually because we just complement each other. Too much.
That's the reason. That's the only reason why I want to split you up.
It's difficult to do that.
It's difficult. It's really difficult.
No, I'm splitting you up not because I want to split you up per se, but because I get to see the insights of how things truly work.
Yeah.
Rather than me, doing it. You've been through tons of interviews, I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure they all kept you guys together. I'm sorry, but I am just not like any boring, mundane piece of shit asking questions, man. I really want to know why and what make people really tick, and what makes this outfit the outfit that it is. And now you're saying, you said, Shili,
I drive.
You drive the business, but you're the brains in terms of the production and the conceptualization on stage.
So.
Is that it?
I think so because Shili and Adi is all about music. It's about harmony, right? So there has to be someone who designs the entire concept, arranges the entire music production or performance. So I think that's where
the orchestration, the arrangement, the conceptualization, how you're going to be, as performers, as entertainers on stage.
Maybe the arts part of it.
The arts part.
The money part of it is that side.
Yeah. So we are very efficient in that way.
Okay.
Like he takes care of this, and I don't meddle with it. I let him arrange it. And then for me, it's like I can give some of the inputs if he asks.
Right.
Yeah. And like the commercial aspect of it, like I help him handle it so that he doesn't need to think about it.
Right. So vice versa, you leave the commercial aspect mostly to her.
Yes.
And then
not mostly, all. Yeah, I trust her in just bringing us, to places. So I think she's done a very good job in that. So all I do is just focus on the music and to create this signature sound that Shili and Adi is all about.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the answer, but you still didn't answer my question. Just much like Shili. I'm just asking about what makes you tick, man. What are you about, man?
I am single.
Oh God!
Is that an answer? Oh, I'm a single ladies. I'm a single
Chris,
lady.
can your podcast show bring him at least a girlfriend?
Adi is single. Check
Christmas,
out the biceps, man. Look at the biceps.
That's why I'm singing like that. So it's like
and
bringing
he's got
the guns
salt
out.
and pepper on his head too, man. I mean, how sexier can a man get, right? Salt and pepper on the head. Now, come on. Okay, what are you all about, mate? I mean, what makes you Adi?
So okay, music is one. Music is one aspect of it. Okay, if I have to deep dive into myself, right? I think family.
Yeah, deep dive, please.
Family is a big part of it.
Okay.
Family and friends. I am a big believer in long time friendship. So I'm in my secondary school gang and JC gang, I'm always the one who's the glue of it all. I mean, I'm the one who asks for reunion and all that. Family, during COVID especially, I mean, we just went through that. I am the one who has initiated, hey, video call, where are you? And all this. So yeah. So why? Because I just need that in my life. So I'm a family guy. I'm a emotional, sentimental guy who thrives on relationships.
Usually good musos are.
Yeah, emo guy.
Emo guy.
I am the typical emo muso.
Let me just. I'm gonna be very brutally frank with my question here. How old are you, Adi?
38.
Holy crap! How old are you?
Just turned 39.
Say 38 lah.
38.
We're the same
sorry.
batch. We're the same batch.
Okay, just turned 39. You're 38. So that means you're going to be 39 this year. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Later
well, you
this
guys are so young. My goodness gracious me.
No,
Thank you, Chris.
It's okay for me asking that kind of
no,
question.
he's fishing for compliments because he's gonna say that my salt and pepper. My hair is whiter than his.
I'm not fishing for compliments, but the point is that it's good for me to know because, and you shouldn't. My guests shouldn't, unless they're older than me. Most of my guests, anyway, when I ask that question, shouldn't shy away from it simply because, look, man. I mean, you're not. If you're in your 30s or even in your 40s, in my book, you're still very young. And there's still a lot more that you can do, a lot more to look forward to, isn't it? Yeah. But I asked that question also because this is where it leads me to this part here. When did you, respectively, individually, start off your journey into music?
Yeah.
How did it begin for you? Was there an influence?
Definitely so. But I think we stumbled upon Shili and Adi because we met as friends in junior college.
Wait, you see, you're going back to Shili and Adi. Let's talk about individually, respectively.
Oh, sorry.
This is the first for us because we always talk about us as a group. So okay, I'll let Shili handle this while I think about my
But
answer.
I'm so glad, because I don't want to be like everyone else and ask the same things. So I'm going to go this way again. I have to do it this way. So okay, to get the best answers, Shili, when did it begin for you?
It began for me when I started singing in the choir. This was back in MGS days.
School days.
School days.
Oh, MGS,
Yeah.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. These are the kind of things I want to know. Okay, so you started singing in a choir in school in MGS.
No, actually I started in the shower lah. Yeah.
Well, that's a good place.
Yeah, really, really. So I remember like my first CD that my mom brought home was like Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard, right?
Oh, wow.
And then there were three because we bought a mini compo, is it?
Compo, yeah.
Yeah, that has like two cassette players
two cassette
and then
decks,
the CD
yeah.
player,
Yeah.
then like a bunch of stuff.
Sounds like
aux.
a Sony, yeah.
Yeah, so like I think I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first time listening to like CDs, and then the other CD was like Wind of Change, the Scorpions.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And the third CD
I
was
hate that song. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the third CD was like Pocahontas, like the soundtracks.
Okay.
So Colors of the Wind.
Colors of the Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's her face now? Denise Williams. No, not Denise
Vanessa.
Williams. Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams.
Yeah.
The most beautiful.
So yeah. She was a Miss USA.
Yeah.
And she was dethroned.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of a Playboy thing, right? Yeah. So silly, yeah.
Wait, can we not digress from Shili's musical journey?
Yeah.
Why are we digressing,
Yeah.
man? This is a conversation, man. Come on, let's not. We don't have to worry about digressing.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? She shouldn't have been dethroned because of that or decrowned.
I think at
because-
that time, back in the 90s, it was just difficult.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wish I was in my 20s now.
And I think like because she was also black, right?
No, lah, I don't think that was the case. lah. I really think it was because it was the ultra conservatives at the time. I mean, I was what? That was what, 1990 something, right?
92?
Yeah, about there. I was a young man.
I wasn't born yet. I don't know.
And I was so like, oh my God, she's gorgeous, man. This girl.
She's beautiful.
Oh yeah,
and she sounds great.
Oh yeah. It was really silly. So okay, Vanessa Williams, The Bodyguard. Well, I was working already when The Bodyguard came out.
Whoops.
And okay, so you listened to that and you started to. What was the feeling you got?
Not really. Actually, I never thought I would sing.
Really?
Yeah.
And then what happened? How did that all happen?
And I think like when I went to uni, like I didn't get my scholarship renewed. So I was looking for like opportunities to like make extra income on the side while seeing myself through NUS.
Okay.
Yeah. So back when I was doing a lot of choir, right, then I realized that I could like sing, and I like singing so much. Because after MGS, I went to VJ for the choir. And then that was when I actually met Adi. And then we became friends because we were part of the committee of like Victoria Junior College Choir. And then we represented Singapore in Choir Olympics. Then in NUS, I left choir for to do other CCAs like NUS Jazz Band, the Kenridge Hall Rockers, and we wrote for hall production and we sang a lot in hall.
Jam and hops and all that.
Something like that, but they call it something different during my time.
Okay.
It's like,
I'm showing my age, man.
I think like it was called Talent Quest or like Jam Aloud or something like that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Jam and hop sounds much better.
So it was really, really fun, like meeting a lot of friends, and creating music with like my band. And then we were going out for competitions and all that. So I think like it really was very fun for me to be able to create joy in occasions. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to dig deeper. That point when you said that when I was in a choir, I realized that I could sing. When you say that, that moment in time when you felt that I realized that I can sing, what was it that made you realize that, hey, I can sing?
Because
what was it?
I remember we were like going for a competition, and then like the choral conductor singled me out and said, "Can you try this line for the solo?"
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, being a choir, we sang as a group, right? But when you are being auditioned for a solo part, and then you realize that out of the 80 girls, then maybe you stood a chance. So, and usually the solos are given to like
the stronger singers.
Yeah, like someone that stands out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you realize at that point that, hey, you know what? I think I've got this quality.
Maybe. It was like maybe. Or maybe I'm just pure, like just very loud. Okay. And they wanted me to single me out to sing that solo.
Okay, then how did you evolve then into Shili today? The singer, the person that you sound really good. You sound really good. And
You're very kind.
No, you sound good. Look, guys, let me make one thing very, very clear. The tribute show, I don't take lightly. The people that I invite to give tribute to, it's a tribute.
Oh.
So if you're here,
thank you.
In my book, you're something. I really don't give a flying fuck what anyone else out there thinks about who I give tribute to. But this is what I feel. People ought to be recognized. Right? And I love musos, young and old. And I've always believed that in some way or other, I've got to do my small little bit to ensure that musicians are known out there.
Wow.
Our musicians.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, and I don't want to stop doing that because I think musos through the years have not really been so cherished by people in this country. Yeah, we have numbnuts in the audiences, I mean, yeah, I don't care how I say it. You don't have to repeat after me. But I'm saying the audience is getting more and more numbnuts, but we'll talk about it later on. So let me just finish your story, then I can go to Adi. So you realized at that time when you were in a choir, you were singled out to do solo, and you got into the bands and you started competing as well?
Yeah, but I had stage fright, so I never really thought like I would do this until now.
Okay. Then,
I thought it was just going to be like a phase that I will go through.
Okay. And then, but at that point when you started gigging, was because you wanted to make sure that you can earn extra income because of the scholarship issue in doing your varsity days, right? Okay. So at that stage when you started to do your gigging stuff, did you at any time feel that, I'm going to do this full time?
No.
You still wanted to go and find a day job?
I was determined to join the corporate world.
Determined to?
Yes.
May I ask, what was the degree all about?
We both studied
same course.
The same course in NUS.
Which course is that?
It was called Industrial and Systems Engineering.
Okay. Wow. Cheap, man. What the heck is that, bro?
Until today, I don't know, bro. I don't know what was
You still don't know what?
I still remember my favorite modules. Yeah, like things about ergonomics and stuff. But there was a lot of maths and programming and optimization, which like was a little bit too technical for me. But I appreciate the knowledge that we have learned, although I never practiced it.
But you were determined to go into the corporate world according to you.
Yeah.
And why?
Why? I think like where I come from, when my upbringing is that, everybody goes to have a 9-to-5 job.
Mainstream.
Yeah.
Conventional thinking.
In fact, all the time that I was growing up, I always thought like I would hopefully be a doctor, lawyer, accountant, or engineer. That's why I studied engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your idea was to go out there and become an engineer in a corporate world? In the commercial world?
I think like in the university, it was a little bit of a different experience for me. Like I never knew that I could meet so many people by performing.
Right.
And being able to make so many friends as well.
Right.
So I think I kind of like saw that as a very wonderful opportunity to deviate and get distracted. But it was a very amazing experience, like how everything come together. Because ironically, when we graduated, it was, the Lehman Brothers crash.
Yeah.
So all the companies were not hiring.
Yeah.
And our first job, me and Adi, at that time we were already singing for 1.5 years in bars, right, Adi?
Yep.
Yeah.
In bars.
Yeah. Our first place that we performed at was Red Dot Brew House.
Sorry?
It was
Dempsey.
A Dempsey, a bar called Red Dot Brew House.
Red Dot Brew House. Okay.
Yeah. So we were singing there on Saturday nights when we were year 3 students in NUS.
Wow. Okay.
So it was quite near to NUS.
But it's a weekend gig lah.
Yeah, every Saturday.
Okay.
So it was a lot of opportunities after that because people who saw us perform there would invite us to do events like weddings and their private parties and so forth. Yeah. So when we graduated, a lot of corporate companies were not hiring.
Okay.
And, I think in our batch, probably the first class honors,
They get the jobs.
They get the jobs first. Yeah. Consultancy companies, engineering companies. But for me, it was difficult. Yeah. Because my results were like kind of average. I mean, it makes sense because you're multitasking so many things when you're in the uni, right? So it's very hard to focus on being an A student. And besides engineering, I realized wasn't really my thing.
Okay, but you did get your degree eventually, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm very thankful for Adi for that.
Oh.
He was my classmate.
Okay, so this is now where I switch from you over to Adi.
Yeah.
So Adi, how did it all begin for you, man? What was the influence?
So when I was small, right, my introduction to music wasn't as successful as my parents would have thought, I think. So as with all other parents at that time, they wanted to send their kids to piano, classical lessons and all this, right? Shili, you also did, right?
Yeah, I did. I did my grade 8 as well.
But
piano.
Wow.
Wait, I have the question to Shili. Were you doing it happily? Like, were you happy?
I was just doing it because I was a competitive kid. Like I saw all my friends did it. My mom was like,
But
you got to take piano. I'm
I
like,
think
okay,
at least
sure.
you had that drive, right? So for me...
No, I just wanted to get over with the exams.
Okay, but at least then it gets you on over it. But for me, I hated my piano lessons. It was weekly. I think it's every Wednesday. I remember. So every Wednesday in my house is a battle between me and my mom or my helper, whoever that was at home, to drag me into the car to go to the piano lessons. So I will cry. I will lock myself in the room.
How old were you, man?
This was primary 1, so I was 7.
7.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated it to the core. And then like, why does my mom have to? So, my mom plays the piano.
Okay.
So I think she also wants the kids.
But why did you hate it, man?
Looking back, I have no reason for that. Like, I think it's just a kid being rebellious to whatever the parent wants to do.
Maybe you felt that it was too mechanical and people were telling you what to do and you didn't like it.
I think it was because I was told what to do. If it was my own want, then maybe I would like it. I don't know. I cannot. I don't. Psychoanalyzing myself right now, I'm not sure what the reason was.
No, it's fine. Psychoanalyze yourself,
But,
man. It's very healthy.
But I don't know what was the reason, but I hated it. And then, so I think 4 years down the road, I was grade 6 already. My mom finally relented because I kept begging, please, I don't want.
But you made it all the way to grade 6 and then you were still kicking your feet and banging tables about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Winning competition along the way, I mean.
Holy shit. And you were still like, please, I want to stop this. Okay.
But still, I hated it. So I think finally, my mom, looking at my mental state at that time, I guess, I find joy somewhere else that is not piano.
And what is that? What joy is that?
I don't know.
No,
studies,
Adi.
I guess. Studies. I think studies was
Adi,
because I was ranked.
It's not that you didn't like piano. You didn't like classical piano.
I don't think so.
Really?
It was just because my mom sent me to swimming.
So you didn't know about this either.
Swimming lessons, piano lessons. I hated both.
Oh, I love swimming.
Whatever that my parents don't tell me to do and I find it myself, like studies, for example, I like it. So I did damn well in school. So anyway, back to the story.
Yeah, that's why you came here on scholarship, just like I did.
Wait. So back to the story. So grade 6 is finally when my mom relented and then okay, you can just finish.
Wait. You said something that piqued my curiosity. You came here that's why you came here on scholarship. What do you mean?
Okay, this story was happening in Indonesia. I am from Indonesia.
Ah! See, revelation. I didn't know that.
All right, revelation.
Okay, that's why I say, who is Adi?
Right.
So you're Indonesian.
I am Indonesian.
No
yes.
wonder your accent sounds Indonesian to me.
Yeah, orang Indonesia lah, bang.
Ah, okay, Pak. All right, Pak.
Discovery.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so where was I? So finally, I got my mom to release me from the my weekly misery of piano lessons. So, and then this is where then I started. At that time, 95, 96, MTV was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, boy bands, who take that, Backstreet Boys and all this. And then in school, we had to bring a musical instrument with that's either recorder or we call it pianica. I don't think you have it here.
Recorder.
It's a melodian, is it?
So it's like a small keyboard,
with a keyboard.
but it's
Melodian.
Yeah.
Melodian.
That's not a recorder.
No, yeah,
So
it's a melodian.
It's a choice of either the recorder or the
melodian, pianica.
thing, which is
Okay.
like a piano, but there's a
tube. There's a tube,
Yes,
and then
there's
you blow
a
it,
blowing instrument. So in school, where everybody was in music lesson was learning the simplest songs, whatever it was, the very simple. I was playing Backstreet Boys or like Westlife or whatever that was, and then I became famous in my school as that guy who can play anything.
So this school is in Singapore, or
I was in Indonesia. This was
in
me in
Indonesia.
Yeah,
This was you in
secondary
Indonesia.
1, secondary 2. So
Okay.
97, 98.
So,
So finally, I think this is me psychoanalyzing myself again, right? So finally, that is where the first
You
time
realize.
I realized that I had this drive that came from that fame, school-wide fame of being the guy who can
Play anything.
anything you hear on MTV.
So is that really you? You hear a tune, a melody, and you can
It's
actually
him.
replicate?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so fresh off the classical course, which I didn't finish because I dropped out at grade 6. Then I started listening to songs on the radio on MTV, and then trying to figure out the course myself. So this is me at 10 to 12 years old.
Oh,
so when I
boy.
got to secondary 1, then I was basically showing up to the whole school about Spice Girls, Backstreet Boys, Westlife songs, and nobody could play that
basically
at that time.
top hits lah.
Yes, because everybody was learning the simple. I don't know what songs we will play on that recorder, but yeah. So every recess,
Chopsticks.
every recess, I will draw the crowd to just listen to me play, and they will start requesting for songs. How do you play this? I want it that way, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'll just play it. So I think that was the first time I found out. Ooh, what is this fame thing? I mean, I feel happy that I get recognized by people for being able to play music. Oh, singing comes much later for me. So this is just piano.
Playing.
Okay.
Wow.
How many instruments do you play?
Just one. I mean, piano,
Piano.
and all variations of it. Keyboards, organ, but
Okay.
piano. But
Yeah, and as long as it's got keys on it.
yeah.
Right. Okay, all right. So, who would you or what would you attribute your journey into music to? You were against your piano lessons that your folks were bringing you to, and at the same time, you begged to get out of it. You got out of it at grade 6, and then you went to this little ridiculous thing.
Pianica.
And the pianica and whatever melody or whatever you're playing, and you go, fuck, I'm getting fame playing this shit, and therefore, this being the case, who or what would you attribute?
Yeah.
If you had to, I give tribute to this person or this.
Yeah. I know.
Point in my life.
I know exactly what
Yeah,
the
so what
answer
is it? What is it, man?
My mom. Still my mom.
Ah,
My mom is the one at that time I hated the most for sending to my lessons. Now looking back, and we do talk about it, Mom, I'm so grateful for that.
so
yes.
she's your influence then?
Yes. Yes.
Ah, okay. Now you got to that point. So your influence can't be the mini compo or the CDs or the shower, right?
No.
Who would you attribute yours to? Or what would you attribute yours to?
I think when looking back, right, if you want to say like the foundation of music, right?
Right.
None of my family members are musicians or musical.
Okay.
But my mom, right, she is, okay, we like to do karaokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like my dad is kind of like tone deaf, so he doesn't really get the melody.
Okay.
But my mom likes to sing very high.
Okay.
But I find it quite like sometimes annoying. But so we would do family karaoke sessions.
No, that's funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
So sick, very high, very annoying.
Yeah, but she's in tune.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe it's from her. But anyway, that's why I end up singing in the showers a lot. But I never knew that I could sing because I have a younger brother and he's always like, Zach, can you please shut up? So I never really thought like, I can sing. That's why the choir thing was very important for me because it was in choir that I realized like, oh, maybe I could.
So if you were to attribute your musical journey to someone or something, it would be a someone. And could that be, or would that be, the choir master who singled you out?
Actually, I wouldn't say at any particular person, but if I want to say like someone who really impacted me to change my mind about like corporate and stuff,
right?
I think it was meeting Adi.
So you would say this man.
I'm so special right now.
So this man is the one that
really
was your influence.
Yeah. Because when I went to JC, right? It's exactly the way that
this has been a counseling session, man. I've known things about her that I've never known.
Yes. Sorry, Adi, I never told you about this. But right, when I went to JC, right, and in VJ, we had pianos all over the school. Right outside the lecture hall, there's one. At the amphitheater, there's one. And then like there's outside of the principal's office, there's one.
Any Victoria JC audience hopefully will reminisce about this.
So Adi would be playing there, and just like how he described his primary school to be, people would gather around him and they would start requesting for songs. Adi, play this, play that, then he would just play. And I was like, holy shit, how can anybody? And then because he was in the same choir as me and we were both in the committee, right? So I was the student conductor and he was my tenor SL. So we worked together. And he was like, Shili, I only have grade 6 piano. I'm like, dude, you play like that and you only have grade 6 piano. So I was stunned. For the first time in my life, right, I met someone, right, who didn't have to play the scores. And he could do all these like R&B vocalizing stuff and like straight away just arrange you sing this. I was like, whoa. So to me, that was talent. Yeah, it's the kind of talent that you see that
so
in
he's
that
an
person.
Inspiration. He inspired you.
Yeah. Like that one has a lot of impact.
I need to bring down that story a bit because so Victoria JC teachers used to hate me because what I do at the end of the lectures, like usually teachers will end maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes earlier. Then I get out of the lecture hall. There's a grand piano there. Started playing piano. I moved the entire hall to be around me, and then there will be requesting for songs. That caused traffic congestion
for the next
lesson and all this, and then the lecturers will know is this Adi playing again?
Yeah. So they call him the piano man.
Make it stop.
Wow, Billy Joel, man.
Yeah.
Make it stop because I need to start my next lecture. But I mean, years later, fast forward years later, when we bump into our Victoria JC friends on the road, we didn't know each other, but until now, they still recognize me as that piano man from VJ. So that brought me, that feels.
Yeah. It's a reputation that doesn't go away, yeah?
Yeah.
No matter what happens.
To be recognized for something that I am, I think I'm good at. It's something else.
But those are impressionable years, where everyone will remember someone for the stuff they did.
Yeah, that's
it's true.
I will always remember Boon Chai, for example. You know Boon Chai?
Okay. Yeah.
Boon Chai, see, you're from my school.
Yes.
A lot of these guys were from my school.
Wait, your school is
St. Pat's.
That's a lot of people from your school.
Yeah, I know.
In the entire industry is from your school.
I know. We took a picture. We took a picture last night. It was so funny. There was Boon Chai, there was Wayne Sands, there was Sean DeMello, there was Ignatius Bong, and there was me. So I said, guess what? There are 5 guys in St. Pat's, all playing in different bands. Not me. I was there as a damn in the audience, but we took a shot together. I'm in the music business, of course, So we took a short shot together and it's pretty amazing because not just in music, but in media as well. You look at the DJs. Glenn is my classmate. Glenn Ong. Andre Hooden's was also from the same school, but he was our junior. Joe Augustine's my senior by a year. Rod Montero, same thing. John Class, my batch. So we all come from St. Patrick's, man.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty proud of that fact. I think this generation...
you guys are opposite us. Victoria Junior College.
I know. Yep, we know.
If I just digress a bit about that and that point is, I think it's nice for you to have this camaraderie as that very strong
Alumni,
batch.
yeah.
Our batch, I mean, we all do well, of course, but in a different field, in a whole different field. It's the traditional field of finance and corporate and all this. But I mean, to know that so many of you are doing well
in entertainment,
which is people until today still view as non-traditional. I think that's outstanding.
Yeah, when Boon Chai first put on the saxophone, man, and he played in one of the school shows, my jaw fell to the ground. I was like, what the fuck was that? And so many of these guys, man. So I attribute to all of you boys, man. I love you guys. So many of them, man. I mean, when John Class went up to sing, and there was Sean when he went up to sing, and Bong when he played, he's always been that good, man. Kevin Shep, you too, man. I mean, so many. Just so too many to count. And the musos and the talent that came out of the school, I'm so proud of them. I've never counted myself as one of them though, but because these guys, to me, they were monsters, man. Monsters. These guys were great. They still are. They're still great. Yeah, and you're right. They have a fraternity.
Yeah.
A fraternity of people who love doing that, what they do.
Yeah.
And every time we meet them, like all these names that you have just said, they very proudly say they are from St.
Oh.
Yes, that's why we know.
Protest and revolt. Yes.
Yes.
They
So
make
that's
their
how we knew.
identity very, pronounced. Which is, yes.
We're very, very proud of our school. We're very proud to be patricians, man. I mean, I still
done.
am. My son's in the school now.
Yay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to ask you one more question. My questions are kind of simple, actually, but it makes you think a little bit, right? And I'm glad that you guys are hearing things from each other that you've never heard before, which is what I always get going. And I'm glad it's happening. This is my question. I'm going to leave it open.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to leave it open. Why do you do this?
Oh, wow.
The truth. Yeah? The truth. Why do you do this? Why do you do what you do, man?
I'm going to start with adding to Shili's point earlier. You asked about, what is it? What made you determined to do corporate? Is it what you asked?
Why were you determined to do corporate work?
Oh.
Because in our time, that is the only way we know. There's no other way. You graduate university, you get your degree, and then you get your 9-to-5 job. So we were all, I don't want to say indoctrinated, but I mean, that's the only way we know.
Use the term, man, if you find it. You indoctrinated into the conventional way of things, right?
If Minister Chan Chun Sing is watching this.
No,
okay.
Chris,
I hope he is,
I
because
remember-
this shouldn't be the way.
Yeah, I remember the day that I told my mom and my dad
Yeah.
that I was going to leave my corporate job to do
Yeah.
this full time.
Yeah.
And it was like at a dinner. And then I had Adi join us as well because we were going to break that news to her. I tell you, my mom almost flipped the table.
Traditional Chinese family.
Yeah. Oh, no, she's a teacher, you see.
Oh.
So when she retired, right, she was like, she almost like became principal kind, and then she was like very traditional. My dad, on the other hand, he's like, he runs his own small business, right? So my dad could understand. My dad was like, after you leave, you're never going to go back to corporate. Then that I was like, yeah, I think so. but my eventually, like, she was supportive lah. But going back to your question, why do we do this? Yeah.
So my parents are also the same, but to put a disclaimer to this, I mean, we don't want to make them as the villains.
They are not.
That.
They are not.
Yes?
In fact, my
Because
parents are super supportive
we know that
now.
they mean well. We know that they mean well.
They're just
we know
worried.
that us going into this non-traditional route will be somewhat risky, harmful for us in the future and all this. So the only way they know to make sure that we have a good life is for us to have a 9-to-5 job, right?
For sense of security.
Yeah. So now going back to the question, the why that we decided to do this must be strong enough to go against what they believe it's true, and then
Yeah, so why?
Yeah.
I still don't get an answer because why?
Actually, to be honest, right, we are very traditional also.
Why? Okay.
I think for us, if we didn't see the numbers, the opportunities and the facts, right, I don't think both Adi and I would have gone into this. Because there were a time also that we were signed to a label, right, Adi? And we had to go all in or like, no.
Wait. You signed to a label?
Yeah.
Did you sign to a label?
We did. That was when we left. That was when I left my full-time job
Okay.
in the airport.
As
to do
recording
this.
artists.
Yeah,
All right. And what happened with that?
nothing happened.
Sorry? Didn't you guys record anything and did you publish or release anything?
No.
Holy shit. Oh, I smell a rat somewhere.
No, there's no rats.
Okay.
No,
They're nice people. It was
yeah,
just, I think, timing.
The timing
The
wasn't,
timing. Yeah.
everything happens with time.
Okay.
It's like the timing that we graduated, people were not hiring. So we end up doing music, right? And then we realized that, hey, we can actually get paid singing 2 hours a night for a monthly salary. That was quite cool. And then in the daytime, I had nothing to do and I felt so weird. All my friends are working in the office, right? So then after that, but this time around, while we were in corporate, we were signed to a label. Yeah, that one was true.
Oh, okay.
But I also feel like we learned a lot from that experience.
Okay.
Yeah, although we didn't release like any record with that label at that time, but we learned a lot. On our own.
What did you learn? Okay, just name me one. Don't give me the whole gamut, but just one. What did you learn? Don't anyhow sign a label.
Actually, it's true. You should always.
That's one of the aspects.
Actually,
right?
it's
Because,
true. It's true.
I
should have. Yeah.
Being signed has its advantages because you get to release whatever it is, but then it also limits you in terms of the number of events you can do and all this, right?
Yeah.
So and then at that time we are already in. Then we just realized, oh shit, then we cannot do this.
Yeah, we were limited
this
to
basically
things that we could do because we had to be confound.
It was more like
Confined.
There was a
Confinement.
certain amount of exclusivity.
Yeah. It's like, I think-
Definitely, because you sold yourself to some organization for sure.
Yeah.
Where you can't do some certain things without having to get their green light. However, coming back again, why do you do it?
Why do we do it?
Why do you do what you do?
I go. So, also coming back to Shili's point, I also agree, and I wish I could give you a beautiful
Clear.
answer to this, but because we were both engineers from NUS, everything had to come down to the analysis.
Numbers. Yes, we actually
the
have
numbers.
Excel.
Okay, let me try to clarify my question. Ask me that question. Why do I do it?
Okay.
Why do you do it?
Because I love it.
Yes.
Because I love this.
Yes.
Because I love the feeling of getting behind a microphone. Because I like what I hear. Because I love the audiences. Because when I work hard on that stage and I work that room and seeing these people's faces light up, it's like a drug. I want to continue doing it. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to throw it back again to you guys. Why do you do it?
For me, is I really like singing for people who are smiling. So bringing joy is very important for me. So, Adi, you want to say first before I went on to re-elaborate?
So this is what I said to my parents from year to year, right? So similar to what Shili presented to her parents, and when she wanted to quit the full-time job.
That was the year that we got signed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So from my full-time job, I was in banking. So I get this, the amount of money, the amount of network. But then when you compare to what I do at night, number one, financially, it's also more. But also, you get to be out there. Your network is not just limited to whoever that you are interacting with in office. It's limitless. So when I talk to my parents, I get to know these important people, that important people. I won't get to know otherwise. So that's one. And then to Chris's point about what you feel on stage. Every single event for us is different because people say that weddings every week or corporate events isn't it the same? But no, the challenge is how for you to read the room, be able to see the demographics just laid there by your eyes, and then decide, okay, I need to sing this song will get these people going, and then boom, they are all dancing. The moment they are dancing to the moment they react to your songs, that feeling is really
Irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Then
So
multiply it with
Bringing-
night after night of different groups of people, different groups of so yeah, the feeling of you being able to move both
Move
physically
people, yeah.
as well as sometimes do you remember Shili? We sang Teresa Things William.
I never forget you, you forget me. That one.
不是你问我爱
Okay.
that song. Yeah.
at a wedding, and then this table in front of us suddenly started just weeping and then just hugging each other, and then we was like, oh shit, what's happening? What's happening? They came to us afterwards. They said that that song reminded me of my brother who passed a year ago. We didn't know things about that, but I mean, the way it must have been the way we conveyed it, the feelings in the song and all this. Stories like this just accumulates throughout our career,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
So bringing it
Thank
back.
you for your answer, brother.
Yeah.
Actually, bringing it back to the label thing, right?
Yeah.
So there was one thing that they didn't control, which
Yeah.
was us performing at weddings.
Okay.
So because waiting for them to move the recording stuff and all that, right? So we did what we could do on our own,
Okay.
which is within our control, which was to perform at weddings. So we did so much of it, while waiting lah. So then those years that we were signed, I think we were so crazy at weddings, man. Adi, do you remember? There was like so many weddings, right? And then people were telling us like, why do you play at weddings? People are like not going to listen to you, what? But that's not true though.
That's not true.
Not our experience, right? Because when we play at weddings, right, we make moments happen. And then when people are eating, they are still listening to you. Do you need them to clap after every song?
No.
No, not really. But when they do, then you know that you are doing a great job. That they are actually appreciating you. So for me, like I feel like everything happened, in such a way that it shaped us to where we ended up now.
So you love this?
Of course. Yes.
So that's the why you have, because
Yes.
when you do things that has meaning, is it?
You don't even realize that it's work at all.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks
So
for
now-
that answer.
Now then, I have to also support this argument that why it's not enough. All this love for whatever you do is not enough. It's just how society, yes,
and
society
also
and the parental
cost
yeah,
of living in Singapore,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example.
So
It's high.
so no matter how much you love us, whatever it is that you do. I mean, you cannot always just be singing everything and anything else.
Yeah.
You just have to justify it that you are able to make this work in this.
If I may
this
just
life.
contribute a little bit. You know what you just said. You're right. You can't just live on love and air, right? I have something I always tell all my students, because till now I'm still teaching. I still teach. I teach voice, and I teach anyone who wants to also want to host. I can teach. So I still conduct classes. But even from before, the message has always been Elvis's motto: TCB. Take care of business first. Your craft will always be there. If you know what you can do, if you know what you're about, you take care of business first. And in my years and 40 years of doing this, and the musos I know, okay, some of them they're earning well. They're earning very good money. They've been doing this some longer than me, and much longer. I'm not going to name names. And they go, eventually, it's the giving back that helps you go on. You guys are still very young, so I tell you now, it's the giving back. The guys who go out there teaching, if they're not teaching, they are organizing session players, and they get private gigs and they get the regular stuff. They grow their names within the stat board, for example. Yeah. NAC, it's just giving back. And that's where you start to see things also from that commercial angle. As individual musos and performers. And I think that's important. I've always said, to everyone that I've met that no matter what you do, you got to think the business first, right? How are you going to be making money off this? Okay, because we still need money. Okay, and that's why I find it I want to do this tribute show, because people got to stop looking at performers, entertainers, musos per se. Okay, as I will give you $20, I'll give you exposure. I'll give you my finger.
Yes.
You know, I really hate shit. I really hate shit like that. I hate shit like that. You know, and yeah. And when you say work the room, or rather read the room, I'm glad you said that. Because not many people do that these days. Let me just tell you this. Last night I was at a concert. Great bands went up there. But there was one. I will not name names. Please, Chris, don't say it. Okay. There's one particular one that said that it has they have about 6 figures worth of followers on social media. Now I compare that band to the other bands that came up, especially the last one that came up. My God, mind blowing. You know, I mean, like, whoa! These people worked the room. They read the room. They worked the room. Really, really worked the room. It's not just about standing there singing, man. It's about interacting, building rapport with your audience, right? They were doing that. But this other band, young lot, were there. They had people cheering for them, pockets, because they were their followers. It is the social media thing that got them to be invited to perform. But I mean, I'm not a spring chicken when it comes to this. I stood there in the audience and I was watching, and I go, come on. You cannot just rely on your social media presence when you're doing something live with these bunch of people right in front of you, because they don't know who the hell you are. Right? And they're not reading the room. They're reading what they see in their heads, that is my number of people following me, but they're not reading the room. So it's completely lost in terms of, of entertaining your crowd. So when you said that, thank goodness, I'm glad. I really am that people still speak the same language, man. You know, that you have to read the room, you work the room. DJs even. A lot of DJs today don't even read the room. They just shooks and diddy. Yeah. It's true. I don't give a fuck. I'm saying it, man. Lots of the jocks today, I know the big ones who've been around a long time, agree. No one talks even.
I think, right. I mean, anyone in entertainment has to have the soul of serving people. Like whoever that you are, your audience is someone that you have to serve instead of, in terms of, you have to find the, I don't know what it is. The sweet spot that get them moving, right? So, we also don't want to make this topic very negative to all of the young musicians out there, right? So, the hours that you put into the pubs and bars in the beginning, I think it's very important. Those are, for us,
crucial,
those are the training grounds. It is incomparable to you posting in IG story of you singing, because then you don't have that live interaction, right? You interact with comments and all this, but it's different from if you are in a live bar setting and then you just have to get the crowd going, how to do that. So with that experience building up over the years, and you just know, right?
Leave egos outside the door.
Yeah.
And leave idealism outside as well.
So it's not about who you are, it's about who the audience is, and then I just want to please you. How best to do it, and then we just figure out.
So on that note, guys, what in your mind makes a great show?
I am sentimental, okay?
Please be.
So from my sentimental point of view, it's the heart. It's the heart of the show, whatever it is.
As a musician, right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Like a great show must be from the heart.
No, not just from the heart, but I mean,
it's gonna come from the heart.
Watching it from the audience seat, if I get the heart of the show, then I love it. I will like it. Whether it's the performance being very into the performance, or whether it's whatever it is, or whatever he's telling stories, or is it songs, or is it whatever it is. If it's something that whatever I identify as the heart of the show is something that will get me.
Okay, I will go into specifics after this, but
Okay.
what do you have to say about it? What makes a great show?
What makes a great show for me is in the sense of entertainment, right? I must be moved as a
Okay.
guest. Yeah.
Emotionally moved?
Yeah. Or in any senses.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be like, what goes into your production? For a fact that tonight, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, I like to hear how you guys work. For example, you go on stage, you have 2 sets, 45 minutes per set. You plan your repertoire for those sets, right? Do you plan an act in between or few acts in between, for example? Putting the heart in to get people feel touched, right?
Yeah.
I mean, or even if it's to get them to laugh, even. Yeah.
So if we were planning, let's not talk about corporate shows or those shows that we are more commercial. But maybe if we
Doing our own
yes,
content.
so we do get invited by people like Esplanade or NUS UCC and all this to have a show that's revolving just around us. This is the best shows for us because it's just really
your
up
show.
to us. It's our show. It's up to us to plan what it is. So yes, whatever you said is correct. It means that we want the entire set list to tell a story from start to end and allow the audience to react whatever way, relate to their own personal stories, and all this.
Wait a second. You mean to say today, in today's environment, when you meet clients for private shows outside of yours, and you're not able to come out with your own show production? In terms of, for example, let me just rewind the decades a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not that bad. I'm not so many
It
decades.
depends on the scale of the event though.
Yeah, sure. But
You're talking about like opening at a national stadium, is it?
no. I'm talking about going into, say, for example, a ballroom.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a corporate gig. Okay. Let's use a simple example.
We have a pre-arranged set list. Yes.
Okay. You have a prearranged repertoire set list. But based on what I've heard Adi said that if it's your own show, let's say at the Esplanade, for example, you guys are being featured. You can do your own thing,
Yeah.
right? I can, of course, respect that. It's for sure, But if, let's say, you're hired for a private gig, simple one in a ballroom, okay? And you have 2 sets to play, 45 minutes per set. You have a repertoire set up. Do you also include things like little funny things to do, during those sets so that you can capture the hearts of your audience either via laughter, because it's comedic, or via,
We have certain formulas to that.
so you actually do all these things.
This is how it's different from when it's really purely our show, right? When it's the client shows, then the client has their
They dictate basically what
so they have their concept. There's a conceptualization.
we
Whatever
work
we
with
do,
them
whatever we do
collaboratively
is the Shili and Adi signature to that theme.
to bring the goal of the event.
So I mean, this is back to me saying earlier that as an entertainer, we have to have that serving soul, right? Client is the boss, so we
So,
serve you.
I think-
but then we still read the room. We still
We have to read
all
the
this.
room,
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, I think-
so. That's what
differentiates the Shili Adi's performance at events from, let's say, what a stand-up comedian does, right? If they don't do improv, every show is the same. For example, like if you watch Kevin Hart do a set, right, in
Scripted.
Singapore,
Scripted.
everything is scripted from start to end, right? And he tells you like, his people will tell you, don't take any photos, don't take any recording, blah, blah, blah. And the same show is repeated like every other city he's toured on. But for Shili Adi, we don't do it this way.
Okay.
So the songs for every event could be different.
Right.
But if there is a client involved, we work with the client to come up with a set list. But whether we achieve like what I want to do, like create the emotion, the impromptu, that is based on our formula or our experience of handling the crowd.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to pursue this any further. Because you know what? Because to me, it's a little. I agree to a lot to the fact that, of course, it's the client's gig, client's the boss, and this is what the outcomes the client wants. That's fine. But whatever you come up with should be left entirely to your own devices. What songs you're gonna sing should be up to you.
So
Because if that's the case, I would tell the client, then you go do it. You know, right? Really?
Okay. Okay. So I think I get your point. So we do have some clients who think that whatever they come up is perfect for the show. That's where we come in. So when we
will give our
you consult, right?
feedback.
yeah. So we are not instruction receiver. We are instruction consultant. Right. So whatever concept they have,
there will be a discussion.
There
I
will be a
think.
discussion.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Usually there is. Yeah.
So to you, a great show would be what happens at the end of the night. What happens at the end of the program? What will happen at the end of the program that will tell you that this was a great show?
the crowd reacts.
Okay.
Dancing,
Yes.
cheering, singing
People still
along.
dance. People still dance.
They do.
They
yes.
do at our shows.
Yes, that's why.
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
I always have this joke. You don't call it D&D anymore because the last D no longer happens, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was rocking the stage in the 90s, especially, but at that time, right, we always have to input into the program before the grand draw. Grand draw has to be at midnight.
Okay.
Has to be at midnight.
Nowadays they do it at 10.
Okay, it's like a countdown thing.
From
to
9:30.
Yeah, you see, it's so boring. At 9:30, we are still having stage games. We're still playing stuff. We're still having maybe the first round, second round of the draws. Then we go into the first set of dance. Then after we finish the first set of dance, then we have the countdown to the draw, the grand draw. And so that was how we used to work, man. When we were done with a gig on a weekend night, it would be 2 a.m.
Wow.
And the entire crowd stays.
Yes.
Okay, but you cannot have it now, right? Nowadays, right?
No, that's why I'm saying the audience has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's so different today. I mean, even the guys who are working in clubs are telling me, Chris, by 11 o'clock, we're done. What? I said, who the hell parties till 11? You know, for clubs, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe, yeah. So, or 3 in the morning, right? You push it a little bit, past a couple of minutes past 3. But today, it's so sad for me to hear this, man. We're not partying the way we used to. We partied hard. And when we do gigs in the past, we shut down, tear down everything, go to Adam Road or Newton to Makan after that.
That's breakfast.
Exactly. And we're up again the next day to do the same thing, to pack up and for setting up, and then the show starts again, 5 o'clock sound check. That's what we used to do. So, just to hear this thing about dancing, if you guys get your crowd dancing, I say, well done, kudos, man. Because I really
If
don't
we don't get them dancing, we will be very stressed on stage. Shit. What's wrong? Should we change the entire playlist?
Yeah. So that's when Adi will side eye me,
Great.
and then we will be like, okay, let's change.
Let's change.
Great. I'm glad to hear this. I really am glad. So now in today's context, since you guys are so active out there, I mean, like I said earlier at the start of the show, you're just about everywhere, right? You guys really, I mean, for fuck's sake, I mean, I'm like, where do you know? Wow. I look at your posts on your socials, man. You guys are just about everywhere, which is great. And hence the reason why you're here. However, with that in mind, you feeling the pulse of what it's like. If there's any young budding performer, entertainer, muso, currently in a junior college or in varsity.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like us 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Would you say, don't worry about it, step right in, do this, it's great? Would you say that to them?
I
have an answer to that. So my answer is find your unique what do you call it?
USP.
Unique selling point. I sound like a marketing
UVP,
lecturer right now.
Unique value proposition.
But find your signature. Yeah, find a
And
signature, whatever it
expand
is.
on that, yeah.
And then just believe in it.
So do you think there's still a market, man?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's still space for people to grow and earn a living as a full-time professional muso,
Yes.
entertainer, performer in this country.
In this country?
Yep.
Yes.
Because you're the youngest people I've talked to so far in this business, man. Afwan was the next one, right, Kai? Afwan was the youngest before these two walked in, right?
Oh, Afwan is older than us.
Yeah, Afwan's older than you. Oops.
Ooh.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
He's great. Yeah.
Oh, Afwan's great.
He's a great
Fantastic.
talent.
Fantastic frontman. And that's why I asked him on the show, because to me, he impressed me wholesale as a frontman of a band. I mean,
yeah.
amazing, really.
Yeah.
And his boss came on. Danny Long came as well.
Oh.
Yeah. And, I want to know from you, man, would you really say, come into this business to the young person today out there dreaming of doing this?
I would say go in with your eyes open.
What do you mean by that?
To be aware that this is not a traditional path. So it is up to the individual to shape their journey and plan ahead, because our form of income stream will be very different from a stable monthly income. So you need to be prepared that if you are looking at just numbers so you need to be prepared for any unpredictability that happens, and then plan financially for yourself for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Okay, I'm going to adjust this question a little bit for Adi. That was a great answer, because you said I said it from a commercial perspective. Now let's hear this from a creative perspective.
Yeah.
What would this young person have to do from the creative perspective?
Yes.
Should you say, come right in, but you got to do...
Yeah. What I said. So find your niche, I guess.
How about how
Find
to
your
hone
niche.
your craft? Is there anything they need to do about their craft?
The craft is really up to them, because technicalities, guitar and vocals and piano, this is all different, right? But once you find that niche, whatever it is, so for our personal, during our time there was nobody doing a male and female duo.
I think there is, but
No, I mean, so at that time
our batch.
we individually
Yeah.
got solo offers. But
We had many solo
we went
offers.
against the tide because we believe that, okay, this Shili and Adi thing could work. Nobody is like us. I think it's unique enough. We have a signature harmony sound, whatever it is. We want to sell it. And then at that time, we turned down a lot of my gigs and your individual gigs.
Yeah, we had a lot of
to
individual propositions.
Stand by our
but
brand,
we
right?
rejected all of them to perform together as Shili and Adi.
So I think if you believe that you have a niche somewhere, that can be anything now. EDM, DJ. It can be even
electronic musician.
whatever your signature sound is,
Yeah.
ethnic into EDM, whatever it is. So once you have it, believe in it and just continue pursuing it. Don't change. Yes, you will have your color, you'll have your branding, and then and then you will do you know Lin Ying?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was going to talk about
Lin
her.
Ying is the perfect example of this.
Yes. So
She sang The Road Ahead, National Day
yeah.
NDP song 2 years ago.
So I recently
See the
connected
silence.
with her and she's now based in LA most of the time. So she shuttles between LA and Singapore. So we knew her when she was really, really just starting out and she was still in NUS. So she came to one of our open mic in Beer Market at that time, right? So we were basically a band hosting an open mic, getting people to come out and sing with us throughout the night. And the moment she sang, Adi and I just look at each other. We're like, whoa, who is this girl, right? So during the breaks, I went up to talk to her because, I also run like an agency that we provide musicians for weddings and corporate events. So I was talking to her and all that. She was so clear about what she wanted to do. She said, I want to do original songwriting. She said, I don't mind doing this, at the side, but the originals is what I want to focus on. And she really stood by it and she just went and just did it.
Yeah.
And look where she is now.
And that might mean commercially non-viable at your early stage because, you're not making money with original music at the start. But then by you honing your craft and writing more songs, better songs, and then you getting recognized,
a very signature sound that you have
will then appear and then it will define you in the business and then someone will just recognize
as
you
an
for that.
artist. Yeah. So now, when we look at Lin Ying, right, she's like, her originals are so good. She sounds great and you can recognize that voice anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think stand by your
Stand by
unique point.
your unique selling point.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You see, have you guys noticed something, man? I leaned back and I went right back to the wall, and I leave you the space to talk. And I was just watching this to and fro between the two of you. Yeah, you should never split. Because the way you guys were going, man, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it's great.
This is the feeling when you watch us on stage. The banter, it's just like that.
Well, one day I hope to catch you guys on stage, man. To see you guys perform.
Yes, we hope so too.
Well, one day, who knows? Maybe I'll be hosting a show in your honor as well.
Then we'll do a song together, okay?
Hey, sure, man. Anytime. As a matter of fact, speaking of songs, before we go on to that, I just want to share a little story, a little known story, before we wish each other and wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Yeah. You said when your folks and maybe yours as well, when you decided to become musicians full time, right? The conventional way of doing things is people find it very hard to adjust to. Let me tell you. Have you ever heard me on radio? No, right?
Is that a question? No.
Yeah, it's a question.
No.
No.
Right. And I've had so many people, after we say cut on my show for 3 seasons, this is season 4. And I've always told them after Kai says cut, and it's never been on camera, I'm going to do it right now. I've never been on radio. People ask me, Chris, why?
Are you serious?
Am I serious? You mean I shouldn't be on radio?
No, you
should.
You should be on radio.
Yeah, but I've never
Like the
been on
moment
radio.
I walked into the studio, I was like, damn, his voice is so nice.
Thank
I
you.
said it out loud to you, remember?
Thank you. But I get that a lot, but I'm not bragging, but I do get that a lot. And I do teach voice. Yeah. And I'm a VO artist. I do voiceovers and stuff, but never been on radio. But when I was 7 years old, all the way up, as I was growing up, that is.
You were too busy for the radio, right?
No, that wasn't it. It's always been my dream job. On Saturday mornings, who is Chris Hansen and what am I about? Okay. On Saturday mornings, I would listen to radio. No school then. And in those days, 905 was called Gold, was called just Radio 1, 90.5. And we had great voices on air. In those days, we had Bernard Salosa, Junior's dad, yeah, Monica Lim, and Victor Cool, Roger Cool, right? And the list can go on. And I listened to these great voices on radio and Rediffusion as well. FD was on Rediffusion before he went on radio. Nigel Moss-Burgeon and Eric Lim, right? All great voices, man. And I would emulate, my voice hasn't broken yet. Then you need to know I'm tone deaf.
You sang
Yeah.
perfectly.
I got to tell you, man, I'm tone deaf.
No way.
No, really tone deaf. And I was booed sometime when I was a kid because of my singing. I'm not going to go to details. Then I decided that I want to follow someone, and I followed Elvis. And I broke my voice at 10. Okay, and I was singing Elvis. And the whole world opened up for me at that time. And I had to memorize via muscle memory melody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
It was it still is an arduous task. Yeah. Kind of much better now because you're 54 years old, man, used to it, But the thing is that when I was in NS, because I didn't pursue anything after my O levels. Okay. Let's cut the long story short. I was going to go to radio. My dad passed away not long before I went into NS. Okay? And my family is very small. So there's only the 3 of us after my dad passed on. So one fine day, just a couple of months prior to my leaving the national service, I came back home and I said to my mom, I said, Mommy, I'm going to go on radio. No, I'm going to be a DJ. The following weekend when I came back, there was, and I literally mean it, violent protest about my decision. and I didn't pursue.
This comes from family.
Family.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't pursue it. I'm not going to say where I eventually went to. I did. I forged myself a career there. Okay. I'm a veteran there. I'm a veteran here as well. Yeah. But what do I feel fulfilled? No. Completely unfulfilled. Because at this stage of my life, if I had gone to radio, things would have been so
Different.
it would be happy every day just going in to just get behind this. So now this show, I built this whole thing here, you see, this is me saying to the young person out there, sometimes they mean well. Don't have to listen to your folks. Listen to your heart. And don't end up like this piss-ass, frog-like looking piece of shit. Feeling unfulfilled and not doing what he wanted to do. Now, that's what I want to say.
Or how about to people who are like
Oh,
us,
sorry.
who are going to be parents,
Yeah.
or friends,
Okay, I will come to that. This is really a conversation, huh? Okay, so I would just say this. First of all, I ended the story wrong just now. Years after I pursued another career, I actually asked my mom, why were you so violently against me going into radio? And she said, what radio?
She forgot.
No. She said, you said you're going to be a DJ. What, in a nightclub?
Oh, yeah.
So it was miscommunication.
So you never clarify.
No. Because
Why?
it ended so abruptly. The protest was so bad that there was no way to even discuss it. So it ended that way, So I became this. Accidentally, I didn't go into something that I was built to do.
So now it's about communication.
Yeah. But
Ask the questions and clarify.
Clarify. Yeah. And don't violently object against what your children want to do. Listen to them first. That's my answer to you. Because come on, man. In today's age, think about this. What's going to be necessary for people out there? When your kid, you got a kid?
Yeah.
Okay. How old is your kid?
3.
Okay, mine's 15. You single. Okay. Single doesn't mean you got no kids. Okay. no kids, right? Okay. So come on. Look, with AI coming up, man. I don't know. You better let them make their decisions and choices, man. We don't know what's going to be happening, right?
Yeah.
There's no gauge. Conventionality is going to be thrown out the freaking window.
Yeah.
So really, we just got to be watchful about what's going to be happening, But again, I think the music business is a beautiful business, man. We're going to sing a song right now for all of you, because I'm going to enjoy these voices in my cans. I'm pretty sure there's going to be great harmony. I'm going to be having little eargasms, that in short, for effect from these two. And it's something for Christmas time, something to hopefully keep you happy, something I wish always that we could have in Singapore. Never going to happen unless climate change really that bad. The world's going to be ending if that happens. And that's called snow. So we'll be singing for you a great old age-old, lovely Christmas song called "Let It Snow." We hope you like this one. You and your families, people, have a blessed, wonderful, meaningful, and very, very happy Christmas time. And Merry Christmas to you too, guys. And thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
We hope you like this one, guys. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
When we finally kiss goodnight, I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Now the fire is slowly dying.
And my dear, we're still goodbying.
As long as you love me so.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought some corn for popping.
Oh, the lights are turned way down low.
Let it snow.
Let it snow.
Let it snow.
Let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm.
All the way home I'll be warm.
Well, the fire is slowly dying.
And my dear, we're still goodbying. As long as you love me so. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow. Merry Christmas, everybody, and have a blessed, happy time. Thanks, guys. That was really nice, man. The harmony.
Welcome.
Wow. Was like sweet in my ears or what?
Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer.
Just like every child.
Just like every child. Need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sento che ci sta.